Happy Friday, everybody. We are in October 2nd, cruising on by. Today's workout, we have the workout warm-up circuit. Again, we're in a safe position as you warm up and work out. We have a core ab timed part you'll see. We'll then do chest, back, shoulder, biceps, tries one way. We've done this before back in May, you'll see. And then we'll have the leg version that we did on the first start. And then we'll have the chest, back, shoulder, biceps, tries done a different way. And then we're gonna finish off with exertion and obliques to keep the theme of the last week. Anyhow, I know you're ready to work out. You're tired of hearing me talking. 1 minute plank times 5. Well, that sounds kind of tedious and boring, and I get that. But we're gonna combo with all of our alternating ab exercises. So at any time during your plank, you can deviate as you wish on some side planks. You're allowed to move your body a little bit, but the essence of the plank is not moving. Or at any time, you can do your sit-ups or reverse crunches or V-ups during the timed part. And Leah, this is the one little change I made from the Wednesday. We're gonna do 5 different 30 alternating abs to go with our 5 1-minute planks. Anyhow, let's go. 1 minute plank, ready, set, go. Now, I was talking about the essence of a plank. I know this could be boring sitting here for 5 1-minute planks with no change. Many times I've given you the formal changes. So you could sit here for the 5 1 minutes and that'd be awesome. You could also deviate and you can do a side plank for a couple seconds if you want to. If you really want to mix in rotational planks, you can. But the essence of a plank today is that we're not gonna move. So you could look at it as a 5 1-minute challenges per se. But at any time during our 5 1-minute planks, you could do sit-ups, reverse crunches, or V-ups during that time. Blah, 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 blah. In 3, 2, 1, and breathe. We have 30 scissors. You won't do it again today. Legs straight, arms straight, torque and leverage, 30 reps. There is the sit-up big version, and then there's the non-sit-up big version. Both are big, both have good motion, both I want you to think about your abs and your core. Breathe and focus. We have 5 1-minute planks that at any time you could do sit-ups, reverse crunches, or V-ups. We have our 5 different 30 alternating abs core. Later on, we'll do the wall sit version with our alternating legs. You'll see, it won't be 30, it'll be 20. We have 2 loops of upper body, chest, back, shoulder, biceps, tries, but 2 different loops. And the last time we did something like that was in May, technically. So take your time, nice good Friday morning workout. We'll finish off with the exertion, kind of like we've been finishing the last 5 workouts. When you're done with the 30 scissors, you will be on your next 1-minute plank. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, and let's go on the 1-minute plank. If you're not there on the 1-minute plank, that is fine. Just roll over and follow as soon as you can. That'll be the only downside of me timing one part and you doing reps on the other part. If you ever get ahead and you feel like you're resting or waiting, feel free to throw in a stretch. Or if you want to move your body a little bit more and warm up a little bit more, please do. Again, the essence of today's challenge, per se, is that you don't move. You've got the 1-minute plank. But I know how tedious and boring it can be. You can mix in side planks. And if you want to do rotational planks or elevator planks, you can. 3, 2, 1, and breathe. Runners, we've done runners many times. Slow your runners down. That's why I personally don't like bicycles. I like that bigger one. I want you to lengthen your legs on both versions. One is coming from the ground. You might have that feeling of more of a concentric exercise. And one is coming from the up, and you're focused on lengthening the isometric version of the exercise. Both are good. Both, I want you to lengthen your legs. One of them you're starting from the down, and one you start from the up. It is not magical. It's definitely feelable. 30 runners. So again, this circuit's gonna be 5 minutes of isometric core to go with 150 abs core. Lots of motion. No rush. Breathe and focus. And again, if you find yourself waiting, stretch for a second or hop up and do some jumping jacks. If you find yourself falling behind, don't panic. Just roll over and get the plank when you can. We're starting our third 1 minute plank in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. 1 minute plank. Take that tension, right? Don't displace your load, right? I don't want it in your elbows and your shoulders and your neck or your toes and your knees. I want it in the center of your body. And so breathe and focus. People are like, oh, get your butt down, get your butt down. I would rather your butt be up a hair if it helps you contract your abs and you can stay in that isometric position. By nature, people tend to dip their butt down and they lose the contraction of their abs core, and then they just start getting their lower back. Three, 2, 1, and breathe. When you get done, you're going to be on your windshield wipers. You're going to lay on your back for your windshield wipers. Laying on your back, windshield wipers. Lengthen your abs, core, obliques. Contract your abs, core, obliques. You've got rotation, and you're displacing your weight, which is your legs, as you rotate on your windshield wipers. Breathe and focus on those windshield wipers. 30 total reps. Windshield wipers. Windshield wipers, like your stiff-legged deadlifts, like your lat pullovers, chest flies, has a longer lengthening component. Now, you could go quickly, but that's where really bad things happen. So windshield wipers have a long lengthening component. Let the exercise take a little longer than most, like your stiff-legged deadlifts, like your chest flies, like your lat pullovers. And every exercise has a lengthening component. These are just longer lengthening components. We'll start our next fourth 1 minute plank in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Fourth 1 minute plank. Ready, go. Now, if you haven't deviated, awesome. I would love it if you haven't taken yourself out of a plank. However, at any time, we rarely do formal side planks, and that's more of that elbow and shoulder and neck thing. But you'd be staying on your lateral plank if you want to. Rotational planks, all those stimulate something similar. You're in that constant state of motion. So I'm not saying you have to do side planks, but we so rarely do them, it would be cool if you tried it. Fourth 1 minute plank. Three, 2, 1, and breathe. After your 1 minute plank, you're on your Russian twist. Whether you want to have weight or not, it sure would be cool. Slow it down. If you touch the ground, weight or not, it's reps. If you don't touch the ground, weight or not, it's revolutions. Big, slow. Holding a weight is awesome. You displace weight. Not holding weight is awesome. You might slow it down, and you're still displacing weight. You're just displacing less weight. You've got rotation. Your up body opposes your lower body, and your lower body opposes your up body on your 30 Russian twists. Breathe and focus. Take your time. And the intent the last week and a half has been to just change the rhythm a little bit. I like to have our nice, good strength days, just adjusting that rhythm a tiny bit. Makes you think a little bit, and I'm never gonna surprise you, but it'll change. Alrighty, last 1 minute plank, and then we're gonna be doing our swimmers, whether you're on your hands and knees or you're on your stomach. Here we go, 1 minute plank in 3, 2, 1, and go. Last set. So 5 isometric minutes, 150 contraction abs core. We'll have a chest, back, shoulder, bi, tri loop coming up next. We'll have the leg version of this with wall sits and legs. It'll be a little less reps, maybe more weight. We'll have an up body loop again, but differently. We'll have a exertion oblique circuit to finish off. Just a nice, good day today. Three, 2, 1, and breathe. Swimmers, again, laying on your stomach or on your hands and knees. There are benefits to both. On your hands and knees, more motion potentially, more mobility potentially, more balance. You have good activation, right? Spine mobility, hip mobility. Laying on your stomach is great too. You're supported, so the balance component goes away, but you have a better chance to contract those muscles. You still have some mobility of hips and spine, but potentially more contraction on your up back, middle back, lower back, glutes, hammies. Again, little shoulders, mobility of joints, activation of muscles around your joints, slow and steady. Alrighty, take a big deep breath. I'm gonna start talking about the next circuit. I'm not saying you should be there, but I'm gonna start talking about it. We have a chest, back, shoulder, bi, tri loop coming up. You can lay on a ball, you can lay on a bench, you can lay on the ground, but round or loop 1, and you're not gonna do it again today, is 20 chest flies, slow, big, wide, 20 trap rows, done this before, 20 shoulder press, all be here, 20 hammer curl, and then 20 overhead triceps. So, I want this done slowly. It's 100 reps. It's chest, back, shoulder, bis, tris, pulling on chest, pulling on traps, pushing on shoulders, pulling on biceps, and pushing on triceps. Here we go. 20 chest flies. If you lay on the ground, awesome. I challenge you on the width of the exercise, the length of the exercise. If you're laying on a ball, I challenge you on the stability of the exercise. by nature, you're going to get a little more motion. However, people tend to lose that length and width of the exercise sometimes. And if you're laying on a bench or even the ground, you can have your legs up and you can work on core and stability as you're doing your chest flies. You'll get more motion on a bench or ball. However, you have a safer lengthening component on the ground. Either way, shoulder blades start the motion. Shoulder blades cause the width of the exercise. And then it's a chest pulling exercise. Why am I doing the combos like this? Chest flies is slow and wide. The trap rows is still meant to be slow, but it's a little quicker than the lat pullover, which is later on. The shoulder press is a nice good pushing burn because you haven't pushed yet. Hammer curls and our overhead triceps. 20 chest flies. Remember, I want to be a little bit ahead of you. 20 trap rows, slow and low. We've done everything recently. We're just going to do one set of each. 20 trap rows. Don't be in a hurry to get through this circuit, because then all you're going to start doing is your legs next. 20 trap rows. Remember, I want to be a little ahead of you only because I'm not doing all the reps. I want to be a little ahead of you so you know what to do, so you don't have to take breaks, so you can maintain your focus and your workout. After your 20 trap rows, you're on shoulder press. Whether you're sitting tall or standing tall, I want you to be tall. And no, Julie, I'm not trying to add digs. I just want that good, tall posture as you do your 20 shoulder press. It is your first push on the upper body. So we could have done the mean version and done flies and then lat pullovers and then upright rows, and it had been the mean first three. However, this first three today was done for rhythm, timing, consistency. 20 shoulder press after you did those 20 trap rows. Then we're going to be on 20 hammer curls. That is the neutral bicep curl, not necessarily the narrow bicep curl. And then you're going to be on 20 overhead triceps. Hammer curls is a neutral exercise. My hands are up and down. You're holding that beer mug or wine glass or baby bottle, right? You're holding it neutral, and the dumbbell head goes to the head of your shoulders. I don't mind a little deviation on that hammer curl. No swinging. Maintain good motion. And notice I really don't talk a lot about form per se. I am talking about it at all times, the mindset behind what you're supposed to be doing. But everybody has a different form in almost every single exercise. I hear about, where should my elbows be? Where should this be? Well, I want you in a relaxed position so you can do the exercise. After your 20 hammer curls, you've got your 20 overhead triceps. Whether you have the one weight or two weights. If you don't have this capability, you can do 20 narrow push-ups, 20 overhead triceps, or 20 narrow push-ups. Take your time. Breathe and focus. Hope you guys are still there. I don't know why we're having connection issues again. Very odd. Okay. I'm going to start talking about the next circuit. Hopefully everybody's in a similar spot we have our 5 1-minute wall sits, like we did our 5 1-minute planks. You can mix up your feet, regular, wide, narrow, calves, no calves, and or at any time you can do your squats, regular, wide, or narrow. So 1-minute wall sit is preferred, but at any time you can do your squats. Our combo is alternating legs. They're only going to be 20. I wouldn't mind some weight. When you're ready, 1 minute regular wall sit, ready, set, go. 1 minute regular, 1 minute wall sit. You can do regular, you can do wide, you can do narrow. You can mix in calves as you need to mix in calves. So I'm going to buzz these guys here. Breathe again at any time. If you don't want to do the wall sit, can't do the wall sit, you can get off the wall and do squats, regular, wide, or narrow. 3, 2, 1, and relax. I would love it if you had weight. It's okay if you don't. We're starting with a safe combo on your 20 alternating stationary reverse lunges. We won't do it again today. Now, why did I use the word safe when you're in the middle of your workout? The wall sit is an isometric core, it tends to get more quads. And of course, we really haven't done anything on our legs today. So comboing with pushing, like stationary forward exercise, potentially would be harder and not as good for you as starting off with the stationary reverse lunges. It's a little safer. That's why we use them on our warm-up circuits. 20 total alternating stationary reverse lunges. So earlier we had the planks abs with a combo of abs core on the alternating abs core. This one is wall sits or squats with our alternating legs, and they're always going to be 20. Take your time, breathe, and focus. I'll start that wall sit in 10 seconds. 5 1-minute wall sits. At any time you can do squats. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 1 minute wall sit. You could do regular, feet shoulder width. You could do wide, feet are wider. You could do narrow, feet are narrower than your hips. You could be up on your tippy toes for calves, isometrically or concentrically. The other day we did straight-legged calves. That was for your gastroc. That is the bubble calf, the one you can see. Seated calves or knees bent calves is for your soleus, the underneath calf. So if you don't do these, I would recommend doing them occasionally. You don't have to, but it's hard to have a seated or knees bent calf position unless you're sitting on the seated calf machine at home, right? Where is the load? This is the safe way of doing seated calves. 5 1-minute wall sits or squats with 5 different alternating legs. And relax. And relax. You're going to be on your alternating stiff-legged deadlifts. Remember, I chose these first 2 rounds. We can safely start doing legs. Okay? Set 1 was a little more joint mobility and balance and coordination on the stationary reverse lunge. This one is balancing and lengthening and contracting hamstrings, glutes, posture on your alternating stiff-legged deadlifts. Breathe and focus. on your 20 alternating stiff-legged deadlifts. Remember, this is a longer, slower motion, like your chest flies, like your lat pullovers, like your windshield wipers. Stiff-legged deadlifts. Slower, longer, yet balancing components. I'll start your next legs or wall sit in 10 seconds. If you find yourself waiting, stretch for a second or move for a second. You can jumping jack and jump rope and jump squat and split jump and burpees and high knees, or you can stretch. Alrighty, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. 1 minute wall sit. I'm gonna check up on the teams. I'm having an issue on that side. You guys got that, or I know you can hear me a little bit. And relax on that wall sit. Relax on your wall sit. We're going to do alternating stationary forward lunges. This is round 3. That was your third 1 minute wall sit or squat. Alternating stationary forward lunges. Step, load, and push. Now I'm not going to lie, this is going to burn more or might feel harder than your alternating stationary versus lunges and your stiff-legged deadlifts, partly because this is round 3, and partly because the combo is a superset. Wall sits and quads go hand in hand more than wall sits and hamstrings and glutes. Remember, you're always going to get your glutes when your hips are moving. However, you get a lot of quads on the stationary forward lunge. So we have the 5 1 minute wall sits. You can always mix in squats if you need to. Our 5 different alternating legs, always 20. Holding weight is preferred, never mandatory. But it's always also going to feel legsier. It's going to feel harder than that core ab one. Now you probably burn, you're probably like, ooh, the core abs burn, but this one probably like, ooh, we're doing a lot of legs. When technically you did more abs core earlier. We're going to start the next wall sit in 10 seconds. Remember, it's okay if you're not completely there. Don't stop doing what you're doing. You'll get on the wall, and if you miss a couple seconds, I'm not too worried. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Round 4 of your wall sit. And I know you know it, I got my studs on here. Head against the wall, back against the wall, shoulders against the wall, butt against the wall. Cool. 90-degree angle at your hips, your knees, and your ankles, unless you're doing some calves. You can isometrically do your calves, not moving heels off the ground, or you can concentrically move your calves. Your heels go up and down. Focus. Three, 2, 1, and breathe. You're going to be on your alternating lateral lunges. Step, load, and push. Technically, we've gotten harder from the first set to the third set to the fourth set. So be mindful that we're adding combos that are considered supersets, which really target the quads. However, we now have a nice good lateral, stepping, loading, pushing leg. You will get a little more hamstrings on the lateral lunge than you would have gotten on the stationary forward lunge. You do get some by all means, but the semi-tendinosus, the outer hamstring, the vastus lateralis, the outer quad. You've got your glute minimus and medius, your upper outer glutes. So there's a reason for the lateral motion muscularly, muscle-wise, versus just doing an exercise. We rarely do lateral motion. I think we've done more in the last 12, 13 weeks online than we've done in the gym. We do have one more round to go. We're then going to do a different upper body loop, and then whatever time you have remaining, I have up to 3 rounds of an exertion oblique circuit. So I'll take what you're willing to give me. We're going to start our wall sits in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Remember, if you miss a couple seconds, I'm not too worried about you missing a couple seconds. I'd rather you do the combo and fulfill your reps. And if you miss 3, 4 seconds on a wall sit, I'm not too worried. Wall sits burn. If you find yourself waiting, right, you could have stretched for a second, or you could exert and sweat for a second. Oh, baby, baby. Friday morning. Nice little workout. A little something to pat yourself on the back on. Start the weekend off right. In 3, 2, 1, and breathe. If you have the tool, step ups. If you don't have the tool, you can repeat any of the things you've just done. 20 alternating legs for the last time. You could do step ups if you have the tool, and you could do any alternating leg that you have done. Remember, education, if you have a low, heavy step up, you're going to get more quads, so it'd be another superset. If you went higher, whether it's lighter or not, you would get more hamstrings. Either way, you should be feeling your legs by now. 20 total alternating step-ups if you have the tool, or you could mix in any of your other legs, 20 total reps. And of course you can mix them up between any of them. 20 total legs. Breathe and focus. As you guys finish up, I want to make sure that Talking Rain peeps have the next circuit, because it's been frozen, but it's still on. And I know Dane wasn't here, so I can't blame the internet. Her whole school lost Teams on yesterday, so there might be a little Teams issue going on, because I don't see any bad connection things. Anyhow, as you finish off your legs, get ready for your next but different upper body loop. Rows, open wide biceps, and then your dips or kickbacks. All 20 reps. All right. You can lay on the ground, bench, or ball. Same rules apply. You can lay on the ground, bench, or ball. We're going to do chest presses, which is a pushing exercise. You're going to do lat pullovers, pulling exercise, upright rows, pulling, open wide biceps, pulling, and then dips or kickbacks. I'm not saying all that to go faster, I'm saying it so you get it done. Chest presses. Now, I would love it if you laid on something like the bench or ball so you would get more motion. However, ground presses is a great safe tool for load. So I do want to note that If you don't have a load, you might want to do push-ups. 20 chest presses. Breathe and focus. I'm not saying that light weight in this position is bad for you. I'm just saying after 20-something weeks, you might want to entertain having more load, and a push-up would be just that. Remember, I never want you to feel discouraged. I want you to feel empowered and focused. Chest presses, laying on something you get more motion. Laying on the ground is a good training tool for load. And if you don't have the load, do presses. After your 20 chest presses, you're on 20 lat pullovers. Remember, you're laying on something on your lat pullovers. Maybe it's the ball or bench or ground. Like your chest flies, it is a longer, lengthening exercise, and probably one of the longest. I would say windshield wipers, stiff-leggeds, and lat pullovers have the longest lengthening component, especially if you have the weight you're trying to use. 20 lat pullovers. Breathe and focus on those 20 lat pullovers. Lengthen your lats, contract your lats, focus and breathe on your 20 lat pullovers. I never want you to go fast. I do want to get this thing done. I know it looks like you're running out of time, but I want you to finish off the last circuit with obliques and exertion. Leave when you want to leave. But we're not done yet. Your upright rows is preferred, but like the other day, you can do any of your shoulder raises. You've got your 20 upright rows or shoulder raises. 20. So circuit 1, I avoided 3 pulls in a row because I was referring to your bigger muscle groups. Your lat pullovers was a position. Your upright rows is a position. Your open wide biceps, smaller muscle group. I'm not saying it's easy. Chest pushing to start, and we'll do tricep pushing to finish soon. Again, I know this feels slow. The intent is that it is slow and heavy. So you do your 20 chest presses, your 20 lat pullovers, your 20 upright rows. I'm not saying you should be done, but when you get done, if you can, because of the tools you have, 20 open, wide biceps. If you have a bar, that's going to be easy. If you have a cable, band, TRX, something like that, it's going to be easy. Dumbbells, you got to open up those hands. If you only have a kettlebell or a plate, it's going to be harder to change your hands. So just give me another set of biceps. Again, this is slow, heavy, methodical, thorough. Have fun, work hard. After those upright rows and those open wide biceps, you're going to be on dips or kickbacks. You're shortening a muscle with the position on both. You're shortening the muscle with the exercise. So kind of like your toe touches for your abs, you shorten the muscle and then you shorten the muscle even more. 20 dips or kickbacks. Now, I'm not saying you should be there, but if you are there, awesome. Chest pushing, lat pullovers, upright rows, open wide biceps, and then dips or kickbacks. I'm going to start talking about the next circuit so you get it done. Okay? Your right oblique is 25. Your exertion is 30. Your left oblique is 25. Your exertion is 30. Your right oblique again is 25. Your exertion is 30. You've got 3 sets each side obliques. So 6 total sets of obliques, always 25. And you have 5 sets of 30 exertion to do. So When you are ready, and I'm not saying you have to be ready yet, I'm going to lead a little bit. Right oblique 25, exertion is 30. You should know exertion by now. High knees, butt kicks, jumping jacks, jump squats, split jumps, burpees, pulsating squats. Anyhow, I want you to go at your pace because I probably have people all over the place. Right oblique 25. I am currently doing double lateral leg lifts. You could do hip dips. You could do side crunches. You could do standing obliques. Whatever you do on the right, when you get done with your 30 exertion, do the same thing on the left. So 30 is the number on exertion 5 times. Is it magical? No. If you get lost, are you in trouble? No. Is it a way to wake up your brain and your body? Yes. 25 right obliques, 30 on your exertion. Running is revolutions. Walking is reps on your high knees and your butt kicks. Everything else essentially is reps. Jumping jacks, jump squats, split jumps, burpees, lateral bench hops. Bench taps should be asterisk. If it's high and big, it's going to be reps. If it's low and little and quick, it'll be revolutions. So, again, you're going at your pace. I didn't say you're going to go fast. I don't want you to stop. Right oblique 25, 30 exertion. Left oblique 25, 30 exertion. You do have 3 rounds, but you only have the 5 sets of exertion. I mean, you can do a 6th one if you want to. Go at your pace. Get your workout done. Focus on you. Focus on your motion. Again, I'm not doing all the reps. I want to be a little ahead of you so you don't get lost, but you might be ahead of me because of your pace and your focus. Right oblique 25, 30 exertion. Left oblique 25, 30 exertion. Right oblique again, 30 exertion. 3 sets right, 3 sets left. Always 30 exertion, 5 total sets. We had the ab core isometric start to your day. You had 100 up body loop 1. You have the isometric leg core movement circuit 3. You have the up body loop 2. And then you have this oblique exertion finish. Reminder, 25 right, 30 exertion, 25 left, 30 exertion. Technically 3 rounds, but only 5 exertions, so you don't fall back asleep. Plus, I like my whole numbers, sunshine. That'd be 150 exertions. If you want to do a 6th set, that'd be 180 exertions. Definitely focus on you. Definitely get this thing done. This is your circuit. A little bit of everything was done today. We had a little rhythm change over the last week and a half. We had a lot of these exertions to finish off your workout. Happy Friday. Enjoy your day.